Yeah, hello. I'm about to go to work, and just before stepping out for work, I need to get this, in the words of Ghana's vice president, out of my chest. I belong to a certain youth demographic in the Republic of Ghana, and we talk. Young people talk. And when I say we talk to each other about all issues. And one fundamental thing that is important in our society is getting married. People are concerned when you hit a certain age and you're not married, and rightly so, because we are sinners, all of us are. God doesn't like it when you do stuff before you get married. May God forgive all of us anyway. But then there are young people who want to marry. And look at Ghana's economy. Look at the challenges in this economy. Somebody finishes their first degree, and maybe while they were in Legon or in KNUST or in UCC, they met someone they think they can settle down with. I mean, for anybody, some of us are a bit fortunate. We've been working for close to a decade now. For anybody who hasn't worked for at least 3 or 5 years, unless maybe you are inheriting a lot of estate from an opulent, family, you have to go through the drudgeries of life. You have to go through the drudgery and travail of life. So this is a young man who earns the lower end of a 4-digit salary. The person just started working, and the person wants to be chaste. They want to get married. But then, he and this young lady agree that against all odds, they want to settle down. Then society comes in. Who are you marrying? Where is he from? Where is she from? What work does he do? Where does he stay? Where you stay alone can disqualify you from getting a wife. What kind of a country is this? And instead of clergymen, religious people, imams and pastors to be tackling some of these fundamental ills of this society, all that they tell us is that we'll get a promotion at work, or if God loves you, that means you'll be rich. People want to marry. Nobody feels comfortable that you have so many girlfriends. Nobody feels comfortable. Because God doesn't like that. You get what I mean? And the few who want to marry, then people give them some flimsy, conditions. I've heard that people have actually come out to say Ghanaian ladies should not marry young men who are startups, who are just, struggling through life, and they live in a single room. How on earth can a society say that for its future, its promising future, its youth, where they need to be supported matrimonially to settle down, don't marry them because they live in a single room? How on earth can a society think that way? Where is the conscience of this society? My sister, if you've met a young man you love and he lives, a single room is even too big, and he lives in a coop, marry him. Nobody knows tomorrow. Read the history of all the great people in the world. They all had modest beginnings. Was Jesus Christ born into a wealthy family? Was Jesus Christ not born in a manger, we are told, even though the Quran says he was born under a date palm? Where was Prophet Muhammad? May the blessings and peace of God be on them both. Where was he born? And then we have taken up cultures that are alien to us. A woman tells you, if you don't live in a self-contained, place, I can't marry you. Where is it written? In our ethos and maxims as Ghanaians. Ask yourself, this lady, when her great-grandfather was struggling as a young man, was he given that condition? Because many of the rich people in Ghana, I'll be very candid with you, they are first or second generation rich people. Look at all the wealthy people. Ask whether their father was rich. He wasn't. Mention any rich person in Ghana. Ask whether their father didn't marry their mother and they slept on a mat. Then all this middle class, upper class, and giving flimsy reasons why young people can't get together, why they can't marry. The idea of self-content, well enough, you don't want to marry a lady and she goes through struggles. Yes, she doesn't have to share her lavatory with anybody. She doesn't have to share her kitchen. All well and good. But then, does that make people who live in compound houses less of human beings? What is better than living in a compound house? You have people to say good morning to. For 3 hours, if people don't hear any noise from whatever, your room or your apartment, they want to knock and check up on you. Are you okay? Then we have adopted this Western lifestyle. You find a working class woman. She's a divorcee. She lives with a child. And she lives in an isolated place, exposed to armed robbery, exposed to rapists, exposed to people who can molest her and her young kid. Where are we inheriting, where are we getting these forms of lopsided, warped up, cultures from? My sister, live in a compound house. Your mother was married to, and she lived in a compound house. Don't tell a young man he has a single room, so you won't marry him. Was your mother married into a mansion? I say mention any so-called rich person in Ghana, and I can stick my neck out and say their grandfather, if not their father, their grandfather got married to their mother in a single room. Where were they? They were struggling. They were starting up life in their early 20s. And now today people are giving flimsy excuses. That is why people take girls, they sleep with them and they dump them. Because they are even scared to take the relationship beyond the two of them. Families are going to give them unnecessary conditions. A young man meets a young lady, and they want to come and inspect where he stays to tell whether he makes the cut. What kind of a society? Where is our conscience? Where is our conscience? And clergy people, religious people, how many religious people even marry their daughters to poor people? And you tell us about God? Is that what God tells you to tell people? Tell me one pastor or one imam who has given his daughter to an upcoming poor person who believes that in future he will get well or he will be okay. Tell me, show me one prominent imam or pastor who has given his daughter out. Oh, we fear God. We believe in the Bible, we believe in the Quran, and we are so materialistic. We are being hypocritical. How dare you tell people they shouldn't marry into a single room? Ask, was your mother married to and she lived in a mansion? I say, show me one so-called rich person in this country. And I'll tell you, if not his father, his grandfather got married to his mother in a single room. This culture, this idea of self-contained, all of these are importations from elsewhere. Young people are students, they want to marry. Young people, some people, they just started a job. The young lady is a bank teller. The young man is just started up. They love each other, they want to settle down. A lady can even tell a young man, I can't introduce you to my family because they won't accept you. What the heck? Ghana does not pursue a caste system. We are not Indians. And this idea of you are not my daughter's class, you are not my son's class, where did all these come from? These are alien to us. We are a very modest society that upholds moderation, accepts people for who they are, accepts the teacher for the elementary teacher he is, the farmer for the farmer he is. We're from the idea that my daughter has to marry an engineer, she has to marry a lawyer. Who gave those conditions? Are these man-made conditions, or they are from God? Where in the Bible does it say that if you are a prominent pastor, your daughter has to marry a rich person or the son of a rich person? Where in the Quran does it say so, that an imam's daughter should only marry someone from a wealthy family? And ask that pastor or that imam who is acting all classy, in which room was your mother or grandmother married to, if not a single room? Many of the rich people in Ghana are first generation or second generation rich people. All of us come from modest backgrounds. That is why boys are going into Sakawa, because the only way you have a sense of belonging in this society is when you pretend to amass wealth. Why wouldn't they kill their mothers to get money? Why would people not sacrifice their sisters to get money? Why would people not sacrifice their fathers and their brothers to get money? Because the only way this society accepts people is when they are rich. I'm going to work. If you're a lady and you have a young man you love, you truly do, and he lives in a single room, to hell with society. Marry him. And our hypocritical parents, they go to the church, they go to the mosque, they pretend to be religious. Their daughter says, okay, I've got someone I love. Where is he from? What is his tribe? What work does he do? Where does he stay? What kind of accommodation does he have? And you ask yourself, Mommy, did my dad marry you into a mansion? I hold my peace. Take care. Bye-bye.